First of all, I personally want to thank all the doctors, the nurses, the first responders on the front lines fighting coronavirus and actually saving American lives. And I want to thank the grocery workers and delivery workers and truck drivers for keeping the shelves stocked and essential supplies delivered. And I want to encourage our residents to support our local residents across the food industry by continuing to order takeout, utilize their drive-through, and their delivery services. Everybody has a critical role to play. But I want to encourage people, there is a CDC and guidelines, and you can go to coronavirus.gov and find out exactly what the guidelines are. For example, they tell you, if you feel sick, stay home. Children are sick, keep them home. Anyone's tested positive in the family, everybody should be checked. If you're older, obviously, we want you to stay home. If you have a compromised system, stay home. Again, read the guidelines. They're very clear. And I want to say, you know, FDR said many years ago, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And people have been frightened. Rightfully so. There hasn't been a lot of information, but it's important to keep context. It's always important to keep context. We have people who get the flu every year, 36 to 51 million people. There's 22 to 60,000 deaths every year. We don't shut down the entire country over that. I understand this is different, and this is serious. It's a pandemic. It's important not to live your life in fear. Now, my concern about this emergency order, and I supported the emergency order earlier this week, but my concern about a shelter in place is we still don't have enough data. We're waiting for data from the county. There have been 2 people who have been confirmed. Those 2 people had left the country and came here. I'd like to see more data. Fresno County has not declared a shelter in place yet. The city of Clovis has not. I would like to see us be more coordinated in our efforts. And I know we're waiting for more data. That's important. We should be responding to data. I'm concerned that in this order, the homeless are exempt. Now, why are the homeless exempt? Why are we telling our citizens to be sheltered, but we're letting our homeless, many who are involved in drugs and spreading disease, and they're exempt? That's completely unacceptable to me. They should not be all along our streets, outside our businesses, on the sidewalks, in embankments, while we're telling people to stay home. That message is completely inconsistent with health, safety, and welfare. Now, the non-essential businesses, the way we have this set up now, you can go to Clovis or you can go to Fresno County. That doesn't make a lot of sense. We ought to have a coordinated effort. And I really am concerned about our businesses, our small businesses, our workers that we've shut down. We shut down restaurants. People who live paycheck to paycheck are now out of a job, and they have to pay the same bills. And government workers, government elected officials, their check always comes in. And I'm concerned about that person who has kids at home, has to pay for childcare, has to meet their medical bills, and we have basically put them out of work. I'm all for the social distancing. I'm all for proper hygiene. We need to encourage that. We need to get a handle on this, but we need to always be sensitive to the decisions that we're making. And, for example, I know that the Elbow Room is shutting down. There's 70 employees that are losing their jobs. Those are real people. That's one business. And that's not including all the other businesses that we're shutting down. So I think this ought to be driven by data. If we look at the South Korea model, they test, they monitor, and they self-quarantine people who have symptoms. They don't tell people not to go to work. They don't shut down the entire economy. And they've been very successful at reducing the spread of coronavirus. So we need to do a better job, obviously, at testing. We've been behind the curve on that. So we've got to get better at that. But I think being critical of the county is the wrong approach. They're trying to get a handle on it. I know all 5 county board of supervisors, and they take their jobs very seriously, as does the CAO. They're working closely with our city manager and along with the city of Clovis. So I think coming here and criticizing them is the wrong approach. And I know they're doing a great job. So we all have to come together. We can't let fear rule the day. Let's prevent this. Let's remember, we're Americans. There isn't any challenge we don't meet. There isn't any challenge we don't overcome, and we will overcome this too, working together and having real data, real knowledge. Go to coronavirus.gov. Learn what you really need to do to protect yourself, and let's not let fear rule the day.
Thank you, Councilmember Bredefeld, for your thoughtful comments.